So welcome along then to this instant match reaction following Southampton's defeat at Wembley to Tottenham 3-1 on the night. Before I get going into my sort of match verdict, do let us know how you saw tonight's game and whether you witnessed the pathetic silent Spurs support tonight, only managing 33,000. Of course, maybe some extenuating circumstances, but really a truly pathetic attempt from their support. Anyway, here's how I saw it then, step by step. Let's start off then with the team news at around 7 o'clock tonight. 4 changes in Kelvin Davis's side. Lamina misses out through suspension. Stephen Davis returns to captain the side. And Targett, Ward-Prowse and Gabbiadini return in place of Valery Vestergaard and Obafemi. Obafemi, of course, we knew had a slight knock. He was a major doubt for the game. So, you know, good to see Ward-Prowse back in the side and Targett recovering from his concussion. So, as per usual, Saints start slowly. Harry Kane gets the first goal after about 9 minutes. And once again, it's from a set piece, from a corner. The defenders are slow to react. A cheap goal once again to concede. You know, we don't expect much for Kelvin Davis to work miracles in 24, 48 hours. But it's still a continuation of the, bad habits that we've had over the last year or so. This time, at Wembley, Yoshida doesn't take responsibility on the near post from the corner, and Kane duly receives the gift. Tottenham are 1-0 up after 9 minutes, and so far in cruise control. A few minutes later or so, we try our luck from range, and it's Pierre-Emile Højbjerg trying to replicate that wonderful strike against Brighton earlier this season, one of the only bright sparks we've had this season. He tries a strike from all of 25 yards, bending it around the defenders. It looks like Lloris on the replay has got a slight touch on it to push it onto the post to keep it out. So far, the best chance of the game for Saints. I think Saints, you have to say, we've done well to grow back into the game a little bit before half-time. Encouraging signs, I suppose. Some of the signs that we've seen over the last few months progressing into the game. So we go 1-0 into half-time, and once again, slow to start. Spurs duly taking a gift from us. McCarthy's flapping out a few chances before it leads to the goal, and it's a breakthrough. Their second goal comes from Lucas Moura. Once again, guess what? From a set piece, from a corner. The initial shot is blocked, but we failed to put the ball away. We're too weak. We're not brave enough on the second shot. I think some of the defenders, they turn their back, and it's another cheap goal. Second balls, it's simple football. Sunday league shouts. Second balls, lad. Get up for it, be brave, and that's something we haven't been over the last year or so. So I'll get to the third goal then. Son makes it 3 after another individual error along the touchline. Matty Targett fails to put the ball out. Spurs get a bit of luck, sort of bouncing off him. It falls nicely to Harry Kane, who smashes it across the box to find Son from 6 yards out, unmarked between the two defenders. So another individual error, defensive frailties, and we're so soft at the back. And I think it's fair to say Ralph Hasenhuttl is going to have a fight on his hands to extinguish some of these individual errors that's cost us so much over the last 9 months or so. Though, once again, we're growing into the game, slow to start in each half, really. Stephen Davis finds himself a golden chance. It kindly sort of bounces through the penalty box, and he's sort of one-on-one, I suppose. But instead of aiming at the sort of empty net across the touchline, he decides to pull it across to make an even harder chance for James Ward-Prowse to pull it wide. Later on, we also make a couple of flurry of chances. Once again, we're creating our chances, but not putting them away. And I think it's fair to say tonight, Hugo Lloris was fantastic. These 2 chances from towards the end of the game, denying James Ward-Prowse from point-blank range, basically saving with his face. But we've created chances. We just haven't been clinical enough this evening. And to some extent, a little bit fortunate. Clipping the woodwork 3 times. Lloris, fantastic on the night. But small consolation, though. We do get a goal to take home from us from Wembley. A minute or so to play. Charlie Austin breaks through the line. I know. Somehow he breaks through. A burst of energy, some speed. and he makes no mistake and smashes it home to deny Hugo Lloris his clean sheet. But overall, I think, the result isn't entirely unexpected. We were expecting to go up to Wembley with not much hope, without the manager. Tottenham, fantastic on the day as well. But I think it's fair to say Ralph Hasenhuttl, he has a lot on his plate to start tomorrow. And 3 things for me he has to address on the agenda. It's our dreadful defending, number 1. And to be honest, I think I've seen 3 blind mice defend better over the last 9 months. So, that's number 1 priority for me, our defending. Number 2, the distinct lack of confidence in front of goal. We need to take our chances, be more clinical. And, we've seen Hasenhuttl get the best out of his attacking forwards. Timo Werner scoring so many goals for Leipzig, a couple of seasons ago. And number 3 is our mental frailties. They absolutely need to be addressed too, and I think we're far too weak, we're far too soft, and we're not brave enough. Once again, as an example tonight, turning away from shots, not putting a foot in when we can. So despite all that being said, after all those negatives, I'm still feeling fairly confident Ralph Hasenhuttl can turn it around, and hopefully he can keep this Titanic afloat. It's not going to be easy, but do let me know how you think Hasenhuttl will address the team tomorrow, Thursday morning, and what you thought of the game tonight at Wembley.